Hey, how's it going? My name is Jeff. I am 20, about to be 21. I'm from the Houston area, and this is Financial Audit.
Oh, you're young. Okay, so what do you do for a living in Houston?
I am a sleep technician, so like for sleep apnea, CPAP, that kind of stuff, I'm the guy that hooks you up. Yeah.
Interesting. So you go to people's houses?
No, so I'm out of a clinic. We stay there overnight. People come in, and then we hook them up, sit back, and watch them sleep all night, see if they got apneas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. That's a good job. That's obviously helping a lot of people, and a lot of people need that. So that's really good. What are you making doing that?
So
20?
I just started doing it full time. So I haven't gotten like an actual full month of full time pay yet, but it should be right around, like this month. But it should be right around like 4,000 a month. 3,800 to 4,000. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Six. So we'll call it 39,000. Is that before or after taxes?
That is before. So we don't get taxes taken out at all.
Oh, is the contractor work?
I think technically, yeah.
Oh, okay. So have you been paid yet?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Of that pay, have you set 30% aside for taxes? Why not?
So I've been working here for about 4 months, 3-4 months. And for the first 3 months, I was working another job. I was only doing that part-time. So I was working that other job. It was at an IT place. I was only working maybe like 10, 15 hours a week there. But I was trying to make that my full-time job. So while I was working there, I was barely making enough to support rent and food and all that stuff. So I didn't have nearly enough to also put aside 30%.
As well?
Not the IT place. No, that was an actual full-time.
Okay, so you didn't need to set aside money because
not for that job, right? But I was still making way more money with the sleep tech job. I was making like $1,600 a month, just working 2 nights a week. And with the IT place, I was making maybe like
I'm talking about your part-time at the sleep place, right?
Right.
For a little while. Was that contractor or was that?
Yeah, same thing.
And you haven't set aside anything?
None.
Now, taxes that would come out probably wouldn't have been ridiculous. There are extra taxes for contractors, but even still with the part-time stuff, your taxes would have been relatively low. But now, coming in, let's just call it $4,000 a month. If we're on the higher end, $50,000 a year, you're going to have taxes. And I want you to be ready for that. So you didn't have enough money to survive. Cool, sympathize.
Right.
Now with this last paycheck of the full time, you know what's coming. Why have we not set any money aside?
Honestly, so the last couple checks I've gotten, I've literally just put them straight aside, and I have not touched any of my money. I've tried to not be spending stuff because I knew it was coming onto this show, so I didn't want to like mess with anything. I'm not spending it all, so I still got a little bit left.
How much? What's on the side?
Right now, I have like 800, 900, but I think I got paid today, so I should have like $2,000.
That's not setting everything aside.
No, that's not setting everything aside. Of course, I still had to pay for food. Yeah. Well, I've only been paid like twice since I've been full time.
Okay. So what would you give yourself? What's your financial score? 0 out of 10?
Yeah. You say that. Probably.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is a good amount of debt, dude, for someone just 20. Yeah. I didn't, because with a beard, you can never tell where someone is in the age range. And looking at the debt, I was not expecting a 2-0.
Turning 21 in a couple days.
Thrilling. So with the Discover, $965.39 with a $12 minimum. $12 of purchases, $41 minimum monthly payment. Fees, $30 of fees. There's not a fee to hold the Discover card, is it? $20.79. What's the fee for? Whataburger, we purchased $12. That's fine. Total fees, $40. I've never had this card, but $30 fees. Total this year so far, $40. Total interest loss this year, $136. Do you know why you're getting fees?
No, not entirely sure.
It's because you started with over the credit limit.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you over the credit limit?
Yeah.
And then even if you make a payment, why are you then going and putting Whataburger? Not even a good burger. Let's put a good burger on.
Come on.
Oh, f off. That's not a good burger. Why, out of everything you can do, buddy, you were losing fees because you were over the balance. Why are you putting more money on it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Give me a good answer.
Yeah. I really don't got one,
Oh, come on. Why'd you go and swipe that damn card?
I need to get food. I haven't been going to the grocery store.
Hardly call that food.
Okay. You were taking a little bit far. I could deal with you saying that it's bad, but come on now.
I'm not around. I mean, dude, we can't just be going and swiping fast food. We're losing fees because we're over the credit limit. Yeah. Okay. Mercury. Okay. I just need to know. We'll go more into this, but we'll go more into the debt. Why do you have so much debt at 20, dude?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Man. So really, this is all other than, I mean, not like 26,000 is on my car. So, I mean, the rest of it is all credit cards. And all of that is because I tried to move out whenever I and my roommate weren't necessarily perfectly ready for it.
Okay.
Basically, the biggest chunk of it all really started whenever I was out of a job for about 2 months and my roommate had been out of a job.
2 months?
Yeah. Well, okay, that's not all of it. Probably about like $3-4 grand all happened within that 2 months because I was putting all of the rent, all of the food, everything on just credit cards.
When did you try to move out?
Last October.
Okay, so you're 19.
Mm-hmm.
What, were you not ready? You just didn't have a
So
good job?
I had a decent job. My roommate had a kind of shaky job, and then he didn't have a job. So, you know, for the first few months, he was getting money from like his parents or family or whatever, trying to, you know, make his part, but that's not sustainable. So, you know, I had to start picking up his half or the entire
It wasn't
rent.
rented per room, it was rented per apartment?
Yeah. We just got a 2-bedroom apartment that we split. But yeah, there was a 2-month period where neither of us had a job, so.
And how was that conversation with the roommate when you were taking on all the bills?
I mean, we had the same conversation of me just being like, you got to figure out a way. And then there was no way being figured out. So
Did you get fired?
Yes. So I was trying to quit. I wanted to quit, but I didn't want to just like leave them because they were short staffed. We had stuff coming up. So I was like, okay, I'll quit in a month or 2 or something like that. But then like after a couple weeks, they said that my head wasn't in it anymore. So they just quit.
What was the
They just
job?
fired me. I was a QC at a like industrial piping type business. So I just like checked the orders and sent them out to the trucks and stuff.
Okay. And you just underperformed?
I mean, I guess. I'm not sure. My mom thinks they were trying to make a, what's it called? Make me a message. Them firing me be a message because I wasn't like trying hard enough. I guess they were trying to get the rest of them. Yeah, I know. It didn't make sense to me either.
All right, buddy, on this thing, we got your balance went up. Your balance went up. So this isn't like, credit line is $4,900. You're already over it. You're over it by $17.55. So it was at the credit line by 55 cents. Like you were almost there. You made a halfway decent payment, double the minimum monthly payment. Lovely. Then you went and purchased $359 stupid dollars. Why?
So I'm not positive on that, but I do know it was either with this card or the Apple card. I put a bunch of money towards it so that I could use it for groceries. Because I was at the grocery store and I didn't have money on my Discover card. Oh yeah, groceries?
Yeah. Is that what you did? Buddy! You groceries!
Well, that specific instance, I'm not saying in general. I definitely haven't got,
In the specific instance, what are you talking about? The groceries, maybe it was $100 of this. You were DoorDashing McDonald's, you were Sonic drive-thru, and you went to Whataburger, got some taquitos, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, RFC restaurant thing, taquitos, Whataburger. F*** you. I mean, that's just incorrect. Why lie? Why come here and just start bull?
I'm not trying to bull.
Well, you lied. You said you went there, you paid off a thing so you could get groceries, of which I would sympathize with because I'm not going to have you starve on the street. But you say that, and then out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 purchases on here, only 5 were actually relatively necessary, potentially.
Yeah.
Do you even care?
I very care. Yes, sir.
Very care? This isn't very care.
The last month and a half, I completely stopped caring.
This is... Why?
Because I'm so far into it and it's just easier to not care. I mean, I know it's not an excuse, but that is the explanation. I mean, like I said, whenever I was out of a job and I started initially building up that debt, that's why it got so bad. Because it wasn't really that bad. It was manageable. Whenever I had a couple grand or whatever, I could make that work. But the job situation with my roommate never really got better. So I continued having to struggle or whatever. And then when I see that big balance, I know that I'm not going to be able to pay it off anytime soon because I'm struggling with other stuff. So I just continued piling it on.
$188 minimum monthly payments, wild.
Yeah.
$141 of interest being squeezed from you on a monthly basis. 32.24%. I haven't seen a rate like that. That's crazy. $523 in interest this year so far, and fees of $60.92. Because we're over the limit. To what interest, charge, cash advance? We were cash advancing?
I think that was whenever I was trying to do rent.
We were
That was
never
during the 2
cash
months.
advancing.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have.
Like, okay, we're trying to do rent. I get it. But you're choosing DoorDash and Sonic and Whataburger and Taquitos over rent. You weren't caring for a bit, and I get why. You explained it. Oh my gosh, $925 on a 32.24% interest of cash advance. Me. Okay, you didn't care. Your girlfriend's in the room with us right now. How long have you guys been together?
It's almost 5 years.
5 years. That sounds like something is like actually going on in terms of a relationship. So I assume a future is relatively likely. I mean, she's here, so you guys don't hate each other.
Yeah.
Okay. What about her? What about you guys? Do you care about that?
Yeah, that's why I want to get it figured out.
This, during that situation, while you were doing all this, and this was just now, and this was the end of last month. Yeah. That's going to impact your guys' future together. It's going to hold you guys back. It's going to prevent you from doing a marriage that you might want to do, like if you wanted to do something large. Yeah. It's going to prevent you guys from retiring together. It's going to prevent you guys from paying the bills, from putting a down payment on a house. This is holding you back. So whatever care you might not have because it's just easier to just put things aside for a moment, you're making it harder for her later and you guys as a couple. That card is bad. That card is evil. I need you to chop up the cards, be done with the cards. They don't exist. They're horrible. Dude, if you're going to use a card, use something like the Fizz card, man. You've heard me talk about it, but it acts as a debit card. So at least you can take advantage of the credit score stuff, but it acts as a debit card. Just do that. I feel disgusted with you still having these cards. I need you to close the card. Apple Card. As far as store cards go, it's a halfway decent one. It doesn't make sense for you to have it. $84 minimum monthly payment on a balance of $2,467. The balance only went down by like $80. Lovely, which corresponds with that minimum monthly payment. So let's see what's going on here. And we're purchasing things. Smoke Shack. We're going and getting $40 from Smoke Shack, whatever that is. Is that like vape it up, dude? Okay. Also, just bad addiction for you because
trying to quit.
Well, yeah, and I respect that. That's hard. It's so much easier. I mean,
especially with all this stuff. I've tried to quit so many times, but man, it's not easy when I got all this stuff hanging over me.
And I can't just say quit for your finances. It's a very addictive thing. But just again, when thinking about the future of you and as a couple and together, maybe children, who knows? We don't know what the long-term consequences of the vapor type stuff is. We don't know that. Not a lot of research has been done on that itself. So I don't know how much interest is being accrued on here, but it's probably gross. So yes, I would work, through mental health as well as whatever else is necessary to try to break that addiction. Just even for your health, the health is more important than the financial aspect of it. But even if you're going to purchase it, let's not purchase it on debt that we can't even pay off. Yeah. So we have a car. Okay. What is this car?
It is a 2019 Kia Optima.
Okay, what's it worth? Have you ever looked it up?
Yeah. I want to say Blue Book's like 18,000, something like that. Yeah. So.
Okay. What's the interest rate?
I think like 8.5, something like that. Nothing insane, but.
I can't believe we've gotten to the point where we think 8.5 isn't insane.
Is it not? I mean,
You're right.
It was like 12.
We've had people on the show at like 25, and that's just disgusting insanity. But 8.5 is certainly not even close to good.
It was at 12, and then I got it refinanced, but
saves you a little bit. So you had it refinanced. What's the term on this?
72. Yeah.
What's even the?
I didn't know what I was doing when I did that.
Nope. Lost. It sucked almost $200, $1,200 of interest away from you this year so far. What's the minimum monthly payment?
$417.
Oh yeah. Do that for 72 months. I'm going to take a brief moment to thank today's episode sponsor, Sondermine. As you know, mental health plays a massive role when it comes to overall personal finances. And I like being very open about my own struggles with mental health. Therapy has helped me immensely. And I want to make sure anyone who wants help, is seeking help, can get the help they need. And that's where Sondermind comes in. Sondermind is about getting the right personalized support to help you on your journey of life. If you don't have a clear goal in mind when starting therapy, this mental health care app can help you out. Sondermind understands the power of the right care with the right person at the right time. And finding a therapist with them is easy. Simply visit the link in the description below, answer a few questions about yourself, and let Sondermind find the right person for you. And it only takes 24 to 48 hours to be connected with someone who gets you. And luckily, they also accept a wide variety of health insurance plans. And if you prefer in-person, face-to-face interaction, then they have a wide variety of therapists near you as well. So go to care.sondermind.com/Caleb or visit the link at the top of the description below to get started today. Oh, then another Discover card. Oh, no, this is a Discover checking account.
Right.
So we've gotten through all your debts? That's it.
Terrible. No, I also have, so we just went through the Apple Card and the Mercury Card, right?
Apple Card, Mercury Card,
and Discover Card.
And your car.
I also have a Credit Karma checking and say, no, yeah, that's on my debt. No, I have a Synchrony discount tire card that I got because I had to get 4 tires and I didn't have any money to get them.
Not having an emergency fund is an emergency.
Yeah. And it was right around $1,000 too.
What's going on right now?
I want to say like $915, $920, something like
Minimum
that.
monthly payment?
I think like 60.
It's 0 interest?
I got no idea on that, to be honest with you. I know it was for like a certain amount of time, but I don't think it stayed at 0.
All right, let's take a look at your checking account. So we had a Discover checking account, started and ended with a pretty similar balance. So all our money goes in, all our money goes out. It's kind of what we're looking at. And if it wasn't enough already, dude, if you didn't want to give me a heart attack, I mean, it's happening already. Yeah. Apple and DoorDash and Tropical Smoothie and Apple, McDonald's, Amazon, Taquitos, Build Zeddy?
Oh, that was a recurring thing. I canceled that. I don't even know what it was, but I canceled it.
Apple, Microsoft, DoorDash, Taquitos, Apple, Amazon, McDonald's, all these Apple subscriptions or purchases you need to stop. Yeah. Whether it's like Apple Pay, DoorDash, I don't know. Just
I need to figure that out. Yeah.
McDonald's, Prime Video, Taquitos, Amazon, Cinemark Movie. At least go to a real movie theater, and Cash App out a lot of money. I think that's to the girlfriend.
That's weed. I also do that.
Yeah. Just like
there's a lot of money that goes out towards that. It's not okay.
How much on a monthly basis?
Monthly, probably like 300, 400.
Is this a joint operation?
No, she does. I mean, no, it's me.
Health.use Motion, DoorDash, Amazon, Prime Video, Netflix. We have every subscription known to man. DoorDash, Affirm. Oh, Affirm. What are we affirming? So is that another debt? Do we have a balance on Affirm? Or is it done?
That one I don't know.
Oh,
I've seen the Affirm payments, and I really.
Oh, off.
Yeah.
Chug order. Apple. Keep coming up. Cash App and out. Oh, there it is. Yeah. And more DoorDash. So you get high, and then you order DoorDash.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah.
And then the rest is like, we're doing things like Acorns and stuff like that. It doesn't really make sense to be doing when we have these kind of interest rates and debts, because you're not going to beat it. You're just not going to beat it.
That actually saved me like a month ago. I needed an extra like $200, and I had like 200 saved in the Acorns.
Well, that's, not what it's for.
Yeah.
That's going to Acorns later. That's going to an IRA.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting penalty on that money anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and then we have a credit card checking. Is this an other spending account or something?
Yeah, I want to get out of the Discover checking account. I don't like that card, so I
don't know. I use SoFi. It's good. It's good for savings. Good for checking. 18 cents. That's what's in here. Lovely. Every second of your life is just stuffing fast food down your throat. McDonald's, Amazon, Popeyes, taquitos, DoorDash, Whataburger, and Amazon and Whataburger, taquitos, DoorDash, buddy. This is just crazy. This is lack of discipline. This is lack of care. This is just you f***ing around and not giving a single shit about your future. What's to say you're going to change that? I mean, this was just happening. These are recent statements. Mm-hmm. Sure, okay, you set aside a couple $100 before you came on here. Lovely. As you said, because you're coming on here. I can lay out a budget. I can do stuff, but what's going to say we're going to get anywhere and you're going to be able to have the behavior and discipline to get you to a place. Are you high right now?
No.
Okay. Well, it's going to get you to it. Your eyes are a little red.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
Sorry.
It's okay. So what's going to get us?
So like I said, man, I really can be disciplined. I really, really can be, especially financially. Before I got into all this stuff, my credit score was like a 780. Like I got it was like way up and I was doing fantastic. I wasn't just doing like a couple small purchases and then like I was actually running up and then paying it all off every single month. And my credit score like shot up. With these statements I can very clearly tell, and I was talking to Chanel whenever we were driving up here, I was like, man, he's gonna get really upset. It's just because I saw that balance and I just completely knew that there was like, I don't know what the heck to do to start going after it. But if I have a plan laid out, I'm absolutely going to stick to it.
Why have you not sat down and created a plan?
I've tried.
And
it hasn't worked.
Then why is me making a plan good?
So I tried I'm moving back in with my mom. So after this, the lease is up October 6th. So this week I'm trying to move back in with my mom. So, I'm not going to have like a rent payment or anything like that. Before, whenever I tried to like I tried to make a budget, set aside however much I could put towards whatever. I wasn't making enough. I wasn't making enough on top of, I probably was also wasting too much, but I wasn't making enough to start really knocking away any of that debt. So I just it never stuck. Like I was spending like $100 maybe.
There's always a way to find just more ways to spend money though. Yeah. Okay. We can try. I want to try to have hope. I'm just upset for your situation. Upset at the debt.
Yeah.
I want you to move.
Okay.
And let her come in. Hi, how are you? Good. So I'm just talking into the microphone. Right. So you look good. Don't worry. Cool. So just lean forward a little bit. But I want to hear from your perspective. Just, you guys are not married. We don't have combined finances and everything like that. But looking through this and looking through the lack of discipline and care that has happened, being together for 5 years screams, okay, there's a potential future. Mm. How worried are you about all this? Is this awakening to you? Did you know?
Yeah, so I knew he spent more money than he should, but to this extent, no, I didn't know. But am I worried? Yeah, obviously. But I do know he does have like the discipline to pick himself out of this hole he's created.
Okay. What do you think this situation means for your guys' future as a couple? This is going to take a lot for him to dig out of. A lot of sacrifice and work.
No, I understand. And until then, like, we're going to stay as boyfriend, girlfriend, I'm not planning on getting, like, sharing finances if this is still going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
very
like,
smart.
I'm still in school. I still work. I'm still taking care of myself. And once he picks himself up and I can see that, he's doing good.
So a large percentage of his money goes to, and you don't partake. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts? I'm not cool with it. You know? But I definitely don't agree with it 100%.
Okay.
And then finding out how much was going, how often.
You didn't know until right now?
I knew, I had an idea, But until right now, what would you say, like 300, 400 a month? Like, that's a lot. That's actually crazy.
And especially when we're over credit card limits.
Yeah. So, like, if it were for me, I'd be like, stop right now. But
Think he's addicted?
a little bit. I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I know this has been, for a very long time, we kind of all thought there was like no addiction possible when it came to it. But then obviously these last like 5 years, a lot of studies have been done showing that there can be addictive tendencies to certain people
100%.
who have a hard time stopping. Even though, of course, it's less than like many other substances. But if you think, I mean, have you guys had conversations around that? Have you guys had conversations around finances and how have they gone?
When you said that, you mean like
Smoking weed.
smoking? So yeah, we've had conversations about that. Whenever I've told him to stop, like he will. And
Why does it start back up and how long?
why did he start back up? I'm not sure exactly why. But once he'll ask me like, what about now? I'll be like, sure, whatever. And then after that, it kind of spirals out of control. And about finances, I do tell him, like first pay off your credit cards first, no matter what. I do tell him all these little tips and all that. And he's like, I know, I will. And he was doing really great until he decided to move out, until his roommate and he lost his job. And then all the debt spiraled out of control right there. And this happened within the last year or so.
Yeah.
So before that, like he was better with money than I was, and he was teaching me stuff. So yeah, that's how that went.
Okay. All right. We can switch back. But thank you for being willing to share. Welcome back to the hot seat. So I don't know. What do you think about all that? She's, she'd love you to take control of your finances, it sounds like, for the future. Mm-hmm. She thinks you have the discipline nature around it, but then also at the same time, we've also seen, okay, you'll quit smoking for a bit by request, but then we spiral out of control. So the discipline around that, now that comes with more addictive tendencies than, of course, a lot of the budgeting things. Mm-hmm. But even still with that, lack of discipline, that sounds like has gotten us to a point where we can't sustain a lot of good behavior. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous. What are your thoughts on everything we just talked about?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough because I want to quit. I've been wanting to quit. And I've tried, multiple times, but, I'll get like a weekend or whatever. And then I'll just go and smoke just a little bit. And then I'll be like, okay, I can't smoke every single day. I'll just smoke like a couple times a week. And then it turns into every single night whenever I get off work. You know what I mean? Like it's just a slippery slope that I've allowed myself to continue falling into. And then once I got into all the debt, I really just stopped caring about nicotine. I still did care about, but weed especially, I was like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna, if I smoke, I don't think about it nearly as much as whenever I don't.
Okay. So housing, that's 34%, which is certainly on the edge of comfort when it comes to your spending. Not necessarily compared to your income. We'll see that, but for spending, it's pretty rough. Transportation, 21%. Necessary food was only 6.3%. Eating out around 20.2% of your spending. 20.2% of your spending. Unknown shopping, which was on Amazon, we don't even know. That was basically 5%. Different subscriptions, 2.4%. Gym, 1.7%. We're good with that. And miscellaneous. Let's see, miscellaneous. It was like the smoke shop and Cinemark and extra at the gas station. That was about 1.4%. So only 6.5% of your spending went to actually paying off debt. 6.5. What did I say the food was? 20% of your spending could have been going to paying off debt. You actively chose to go spend that around getting weed, doing whatever, instead of paying off the debt. You're in the debt, but you could have been making progress. You could have been building a future together. She said she won't consider combining finances, getting married until you get your taken care of. You're preventing your guys' self from actually forming that bond and partnership for the future because you are choosing 20%. 20% of your money, you are choosing that of going to eating out and DoorDash. That is what you're choosing. So hopefully this is the wake-up call you needed, man, because that is bad. That is rough, and that is selfish of you. Selfish. So there's ways to go forward. The way that I typically do is we can lay out a budget with your current expenses and what we can put you on when it comes to an overall strict budget, and we can try to get you out of debt. But again, I'm a little afraid with past behavior, but is that the path you want to go down?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What's your rent or your portion?
So, like I said, I'm moving back in with my mom.
When?
So there's no rent
When?
this week, like October 6th.
Okay, so no more rent is ever owed.
Mm-mm.
Are you gonna have to pay anything for utilities or internet? Give back at all?
No, not as far as I know.
Okay, cool. Now let's add up your debt minimum monthly payments. And how are you feeling? Because I know I've dug into you, but I want this to be a wake up call.
Yeah.
It's the conversation that I wish happened to me 10 years ago. So how are you doing?
I definitely appreciate it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy.
It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
And it will be not easy going forward, but you're going to
Yeah.
set yourself up for success if you actually follow this, and you're going to have an awesome life if you follow this. Now, gas, 140. What about car insurance? We don't have that.
Yeah, so that's one thing. I haven't been, my mom and my stepdad have been covering my insurance just because I.
And will they
wasn't-
still?
Right. Nah, I don't want them to. They still can, but I want to start paying that back.
Okay.
I mean, they don't it's not like they're completely happy with covering it. You know what I mean? They're not like telling me you need to start paying this, but they're more worried because it's like building up and I'm going to have to pay it back eventually. You know what I mean?
Wait, what? It's a debt to them?
Technically, yeah.
Well, why
because
technically?
it's to my stepdad. He's the one that pays all the entire insurance plan or whatever. And yeah, so each month it's like $350 that I was supposed to be paying for insurance, and I didn't pay it like after the second month of me living there. So it's been like 8 months of that building up.
What do you owe?
Whatever 350 times 8 is.
Okay, so you need to start. Because you owe it back if you don't.
Well, either way, I need to start paying the $350. Yeah, at least doing that so it doesn't continue to.
Okay,
Yeah.
car insurance?
Yeah.
$350.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive. Okay. Subscriptions, we're cutting it out. Except for, well, does ChatGPT help with work for your job? I don't think so.
No, it did with the IT job. I probably don't need it
cut
anymore.
That.
Okay.
Cut that.
Dang.
No more. I know it's non-traditional, but if you guys go out to eat, she's paying.
She's been doing that for the last year.
Well, are you sure? Because you eat out every single day of your life on your own statement. So,
Yeah.
okay. Phone bill?
Nothing. I don't pay.
How's food going to work in the house?
I shouldn't have to pay for any groceries or anything like that. For my own budget, I was giving myself like $100 a month. Like
I'll just put it on there just in case. And then toilet paper, toothpaste, all that good stuff. Let's give you 50. Anything else you have to pay for?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just because for my own, just what I think you should do, and it's harder said than done. I'm not putting in anything for weed. I'm not putting any in for nicotine. That's not an overnight thing. You work on that, but I am not going to feel good putting that in a budget that I create.
Mm-hmm.
$1,430. $3,900 comes in. I need you to set aside $3,900. It's in between the $3,800 and the $4,000 you said. I need you to set aside $1,170 in a high yield savings account. I use SoFi high yield. That's where I put my tax money. But you need to start doing that now, or you're going to get by the tax man come early next year. This gives you an extra $2,730 left on a monthly basis. $2,730. $1,300 is what you have left over. Now, normally I do a 1 month emergency fund before getting things kicked off, but you have a good safety net living at home. We're not going to do that. Okay. What I am going to do is Synchrony is paid off immediately within month one. Let's just call that month one, being extra conservative, some transitionary things. Okay, cool. Month number 2, we're paying off Discover. Let's again just call that month number 2. Okay. So month number 3, what we're going to be doing is we're paying off half of the Apple Card. Month number 4, we're finishing off the Apple Card.
Okay.
Month number 5, we're doing minimum monthly payments on these other things until they're paid off, and we're not putting a single cent on them anymore. It doesn't exist. It's going to take 3.5 months to pay off the Mercury card. So we're
after those 4 months.
Yeah. So we're 9.5 months in, right? So we're heading into month 5, 6, 7. So wait, we're headed into month 5. So 7.5 months. We've just completed 7.5 months.
Okay.
The car. There are choices to be made. You can. Do you want to pay it off or do you want to finesse?
I mean, I want to do what's best. Whatever.
Well, I don't know. It depends how long. Because I'm okay with you being 20 and taking a little longer, but as long as you're doing it in an appropriate manner. Now, the money you're going to have left over is going to be a little more at this point because we've saved some money. So let's give you an extra 200. So 1,500 left on a monthly basis now. It's going to take 16 months to pay off that car. So 16 months plus the... This is for credit card people only. If you're not a credit card person, close your ears. People always ask me what credit cards do I use personally, or what credit cards should they use in specific instances. I've partnered with Card Ratings to create specific lists of good credit cards based on specific situations. So we have the best no annual fee credit cards, the best travel credit cards, the best secured credit cards, and the best credit cards for people who have no existing credit. So to check out those lists that we've specifically curated, head down to the description below. Call it 8 months. So 24 months, 2 years to get fully out of debt. 2 years of living at home, trying to make more money, job shop, raises, stuff like that, working more hours, whatever it takes. And that could cut it down. But in this case, it would be 24 months, 2 years. Would you be okay with 2 years of this? Would you be okay with 2 years of this? Him living at home, not spending a single cent on fun, 2 years.
Yep. I'll be in school.
She says yes, she'll be in school anyways. What do you think?
2 years longer than what I thought, but yeah.
What do you think?
I thought, well, I mean, I didn't, not too much longer. I thought like a year and a half.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I guess I thought I'd have a little bit more than 13 to put towards.
You got to
credit
set
cards.
money aside for taxes.
Yeah,
or you're gonna
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Don't add IRS debt on top of this. Don't add wage garnishing on top of this. What you could do, what did you say KBB is the car right now?
18, I believe.
No. Yeah, I would do this.
Better.
I'd pay this off because it's gonna, whatever financing we do, it's gonna get you to like, I don't know, $18,000 with that. So I mean, you'll save a bit, but if you like the car, pay it off.
Okay.
So 2 years, pay it off. And then what you're going to do from there, and this is before you can move out, because let's replace your debt payments for potential rent. Let's say what you need to survive is about $2,000. No, we're going to say about $3,200 because we're going to all of a sudden have food and insurance and all this stuff. Well, then you have to pay off your uncle, right? Or stepdad?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's I owe my mom money. And
How much?
Sorry, yeah, I forgot about the people debt. Yeah,
How much?
So neither of them. I owe Chanel and I owe my mom.
You owe her money?
Yes. Unfortunately, it's terrible. I don't want to.
How much do you owe her?
16. I owe my mom 18.
16,000?
1,600.
Oh,
okay. 100. I want to give them both $2,000 back, but both of them are telling me whatever, pay for everything.
16
else
for
first.
her. How much for mom?
18 technically.
How much for stepdad?
350 times 8.
After the car is paid off, after 2 years, you're not doing it until after 2 years. You're going to have conversations, and hopefully they'll be okay with it. I assume she'll be okay with it. I assume mom will be okay with it. Have the conversation with stepdad. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah. But hopefully it's okay with it. You should have an extra $1,900 left on a monthly basis now. It's going to take 3 to 4 months to pay back those debts. No interest, just unless they really want you to. 3 to 4 debts. So a year and 4 months, or 2 years and 4 months to pay off all the debts. Now what I need you to do, $3,200, let's just call your month to survive on a low budget. Once you get a place, save up No, I did that wrong. I apologize. I was looking at your income. I was going to say that would be insane. So let's call it $1,700 to survive on a monthly basis on a lower budget. Okay, cool. That makes much more sense. That'd be, let's just call it $10,000. You'll have a $10,000 emergency fund. So after those debts are paid off, of which you're not touching until you pay off the car, we're 2 years, 4 months in. Again, you have an additional $1,900 on a monthly basis. It's going to take another 5 months. 5 months to save up $10,000. Just over 5 months. And it was just over 3 months on the last thing anyway, so we'll just call this 5 months since we rounded up on the last one. Hoy. Okay. So 2 years, 9 months. 2 years, 9 months until you can move out and you can have fun money again. 2 years, 9 months. Mm-hmm. You can make that quicker, probably about 2 years in total if you make a little bit more money.
Okay.
But this is with you setting money aside for taxes, and I need you to do that. But 2 years, 9 months is a long time.
Yeah.
We've talked about discipline. We've talked about how when it comes to smoking and stuff, like you're good for a bit and then you spiral. This you gave up because it was so bad a few times. So we start making progress. Things get hard. I do not think this is going to happen. I certainly don't want this to happen. Well, let's just say in the real world where things do happen, a breakup happens. Okay, a breakup happens. That's emotionally very painful, and losing a support system and a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can throw this off and head back into the spiral, just like you do with weed. Spiral of going back into the debt or not continuing the payoff method, because 2 years, 9 months is a long time. It's a long time for things to fuck up.
Yeah.
You really, just be honest. Be honest with me. 2 years, 9 months, do you think the discipline you have and the lack of it that you've shown can be maintained for 2 years, 9 months?
I mean, obviously, I can't tell you 100% certainty, but, you know, I do think once I start to see this balances kind of go away, and whenever I only got, you know, my car payment or whatever, I don't have a bunch of subscriptions just taking money out my account. Like, I don't just got a bunch of different charges. I don't even know what's going on. Once I see and I kind of have more control over it, because that's how it was before. Whenever I was doing good financially, I had control over everything. I knew where all my money was going, and I was doing good with it. It was once the stuff started to go out of my control, it was like kind of too much for me to really know where every single cent was going. That's whenever I really stopped putting as much care as I should have been putting towards it.
So you started taking out debt at 18, right?
Yeah, I got my car.
So this is going to take 9 months longer. 9 months longer than you've even had debt to pay off. Since you've gotten debt, this is going to take at least 9 months longer. You down, put any subscriptions in there still, keep the chat GDP, go out to eat here and there, get a DoorDash here and there. You stretch this because all it takes is just a few little things, 2.9 months in a strict life. You stretch that to all of a sudden 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 years. Your guys' future is way more important than that. As a partnership, as a bond, whatever expectations are there. I'm not saying you guys want to get married, but from the conversation, it sounds like, okay, this is what's holding us back potentially. Yeah. Now, you guys won't be able to combine finances until you get your shit figured out. Then on the addiction side of thing, man, I don't know. Like, I want to put money in here for potential therapy if that will help. Like, or whatever resources are available, I want you to take advantage of. And we add therapy, and I'm good with adding therapy into a budget. It makes sense, but that's going to stretch just to like 4.5 years. Yeah. Or, well, like 3.5 years. It's a struggle, but the mental health aspect is important to take care of at the same time, especially since you've added to these points where you can spiral and then you've just given up. So something I need you to take care of. I don't know. So when it comes to the addiction side of things, what are your thoughts on that? Because that obviously takes out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that's not even talking about the health aspect. So what are your thoughts on that and then going forward as well?
I mean, I want to completely stop. I've been wanting to completely stop. I just kind of, I don't know, needed some. So me and her, she's from Argentina, and we're going to Argentina this Christmas time-ish. So I wanted to not be on any sort of vapor come that time, because I didn't want to be in Argentina.
In November or December?
December.
It's coming quick, man.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to prevent you from the spiral, as she called it, that's happened multiple times?
Honestly, the only thing I can think of is busying myself with my finances, trying to just throw in myself 100% into that. Because, I mean, before I started smoking and everything, I mean, the main reason I even did was because my head kind of goes quick. My thoughts are kind of always running, you know what I mean? And nothing really slows it down. Nothing ever really did until I smoked for the first time. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I'm not going a million miles a minute or whatever. But obviously, I have a sort of addictive personality. I get addicted to things easily. So whenever it's becoming, you know, a hindrance more than it's helping me emotionally or whatever, it's not worth it. So I got to stop.
I have an addictive personality, so I know to avoid things that have that, you know, have potential addictive tendencies to it in general. So, I mean, that's just smart to acknowledge and avoid certain things in the future as you're going forward as well. Because again, partnership and everything like that, you don't want to fall into other things as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, well then, you just got to be really strong about it, man. Make sure you're taking advantage of help where it is, whether it be community services or whether it be a therapist, anything like that. Take advantage of the health insurance. You don't have health insurance. Are you on your parents?
Think I still am. Yeah, think so.
Yeah, through 26 or until 26. I don't remember. But okay, so how many hours a week are you working right now?
So it's just nightly. That's what we get paid off of. I'm working 4 to 5 nights a week.
Nights?
Yeah.
What are the hours?
We get there at like 7:30, and we leave around like 7 in the morning, more or less. 6, 7.
When are you guys seeing each other? You two?
I mean, throughout the day, it has been a little bit less lately because she's been busy with school and everything, and I've been trying.
Because school's a daytime thing, and you're working at night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but it matters for your future. But one thing you can do to cut this dramatically, that time from 2 years, 9 months to like ambitiously, maybe even a year and a half potentially. If you go work another job, man. There's industries that will bring people on and just work right now. You'll see each other less. You'll have less sleep. I don't want you to like avoid sleep in a dangerous way, but man, so you're working like 30, 40 hours a week right now ish?
Probably, yeah.
Add an extra 20, 30. If you can stretch it 40 on that, I'm not saying you have to.
Well, I definitely don't have an issue with the hours. Yeah. I mean, whenever I first started working, I was working in warehouses like 60, 80 to 80 hour shifts for like 2 years. And that's whenever I stopped and got into sleep.
Well, I'm saying is if you're willing to, you cut this overall process and everything by a year, by 9 months, by a year and a half even, who knows, then you guys can get on with your future even more. Yeah. And so whatever one you prioritize, a little comfort now, being able to see each other more and doing this in 2 years, 9 months, okay. Or get your guys' future moving full steam ahead by you just going crazy now and paying it off, then that's chill. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Like I said,
what? Which one?
What do you mean, which one? Oh, I mean, the 2 years thing does sound okay. Like that's doable.
2 years, 9 months, basically 3.
Basically 3 years. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can definitely pick up at least one more shift a week at the sleep clinic. So that's another $200 a week.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do like DoorDash and stuff. Maybe I could do that, whenever I get off, because I usually can't go to sleep for a couple hours after I get off anyway. So maybe I could go and DoorDash like the breakfast shift or whatever, try and make some.
If it makes sense. Yeah. I'm not sure what breakfast on DoorDash looks like.
Well, yeah, I don't know either.
If it makes sense, maybe wake up a little earlier and do dinner before you head into town.
Okay, yeah.
But either way, if that mathematically and economically makes sense, then I'm down with that. Yeah, definitely hustle and work. You need to have the conversation with the stepdad and the mom. Yeah. She's already here. She's hearing about this for the personal debts. That's going to be after the interest debts. Yeah. If you wanted to, you could cut it. You could cut this down a little. It's going to be hard. It's not going to make up too much, and the interest rate's actually going to be a little higher. But you get rid of the car by selling it, borrowing what's in between, then borrowing what it takes to get a $5,000 to $10,000 car on a personal loan. Okay, you're going to save a few $1,000s of having to pay off, but the interest rate is going to be higher. You're just going to attack it in the overall debt process, probably the last debt before the debt to people in your life. Right. That's one way you could go about it. That might shave a few months off of it. It's not going to be dramatic.
What
but
do you
that's
think
up to
about
you.
like a consolidation loan for the credit cards? I'm just because I've thought about it, but I haven't.
No,
done anything.
I want you to. Okay, potentially, but we've seen so many examples recently. I think limited amounts of people can do that.
Okay.
And you've gone over the credit limits, which is showing me you just have no control. So boom, okay, you consolidate them. You have all of a sudden room to spend on the credit cards. You'll just build those up again. We've seen so many people do that on the show. Some people can do what you're talking about, but that's very risky. Again, if you're going to use a credit card, I'd use something like the Fizz card for you.
Okay.
But other than that, it's going to be a difficult, long process, and I hope you have the discipline to get through it. I really hope so. But do you have any final thoughts? Any final questions?
Nah, not really. Just hope to be able to come back in 6 months, a year, or whatever, and show you that I, put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, I think we said 7 months to pay off all the cards before the Mercury card. I don't remember, but whatever that first milestone is, let's get you to come back then, and you should have done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that for sure. All right, for Jeff, I really care about their future together, where they want to get. So it's going to take some sacrifice to get there. His Hammer Financial score, spending a budget that was ridiculous. 0 out of 10 debt. If you're borrowing from individuals in your life, I can't give you a higher than 0 out of 10. Emergency fund, at least he started. 1 out of 10. Retirement, at least he started. Not much. 1 out of 10. In real estate, not a part of the conversation yet. 0 out of 10. To be generous, we'll give him a 0.5 out of 10 for his Hammer Financial score. And don't forget to check out the resources linked in the description below. They are what I use or would use in specific situations. If you want to be in an episode of Financial Audit and you're able to make it down to Austin, Texas, fill out the survey in the description below.